There we go.
Hello, hello, hello. Today, welcome to the Menopause Diaries and Unfiltered. I'm Jackie Grant and I'm your host with a decade of experience of working with women, peri to postmenopause, helping them to lose their next 15 to 20 pounds within 4 months without calorie counting, restrictive dieting, or spending all their time in the gym with natural solutions. And I deliver menopause workshops across London in councils, adult learning, whilst running a community interest company. So I also provide menopause and women's health cafes in my borough. And this is Menopause Diaries, the podcast where we talk about real menopause, the weight, the mood, the sleepless nights, the wins, the hard days, unfiltered, unscripted, unapologetic. Um, can you believe I just said that wrong? But anyway, unapologetically honest. And today's guest, we have Katrina, Katrina Houghton, who is a human performance expert. I got that right, Katrina?
Correct. Yes.
All
Thank
right,
you.
brilliant. Yeah, that little went a bit haywire, but it's all good. We are here being unapologetic, no scripts, and it's all good. So, welcome, Katrina. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Right, Katrina, tell us a little bit about you and your journey through menopause.
Sure. I actually just turned 47 years old and I'm a mom of three daughters. So definitely living in a hormonal household. Um, so I am a human performance expert. So I do work with high achieving women, helping them feel better in their bodies, kind of tapping into self-leadership, moving forward that way. We talk about nutrition and exercise, of course, and then it's just getting, your habits and your priorities and everything down pat, just changing your pattern so that you can be successful. But I'm in it, the whole perimenopause journey. I feel like every couple weeks there's something new that I am, have to be open to experiencing.
Yeah.
But the biggest shift for me was in 2022, I did a shred because I was bodybuilding and I wanted to do a bodybuilding shred for
Mm.
12 weeks. And I was going vegan. Then I kind of switched it to more vegetarian. And so I was doing this shred for 12 weeks. I stuck to it 100%, followed everything to a T, and after 12 weeks, lost 12 pounds. So I was very defeated, very upset. I mean, yes, I lost the 12 pounds, so I was feeling
Mm.
a little bit better, but I thought that I would have this monumental weight loss and I'd have these muscles popping out of me, and
Yes.
this was going to be like my turning point, and I wasn't going to let perimenopause, attack me.
Yeah.
And then when I stopped the shred, I gained back like 25 pounds,
No
so
way.
even though I'm a health coach. I know how to eat and exercise. And all of a sudden I was just super fat, very tired. And the brain fog, everything was hitting me. I got fat. I had brain fog. I had no energy. I went to the doctor. They want to put you on antidepressants. I'm like, I love my life. I'm not depressed. Like, what is going on? I
Yeah.
went to a naturopath. I did all of the blood and spit tests and said that my adrenal glands were low.
Mm.
Great. I'm a health coach. I know how to fix that. So I put myself on a reset.
Mm.
Wasn't helping, wasn't working. So
Wow.
now and this is years. Like I'm not, well, I'd say probably a good 8 months. I was trying to figure out what was
Yeah.
wrong, trying to get myself back to where I should be.
Mm.
And I'm also used to exercising a lot, like
Mm.
bodybuilding and doing the shred. So you're like on a 6, 7 day stretch of non-stopping, and a regular is like training 5 days a week. So
Mm.
I had to have a big shift. I actually ended up going back to my doctor,
Mm.
else heavy bleeding, like heavy, heavy, heavy periods.
Right.
So he did put me back on the birth control pill.
Okay.
I have surrendered to it because I've now have a normal month. I've been on the birth control pill for a year.
Mm.
Wasn't something I wanted to do, but it was the only thing I could do to control what was happening. So it did lighten the load. I can wear a regular tampon and I don't worry about having accidents because it was every hour. And I
Mm.
was in public ruining, I've ruined my car seats, I've ruined seats at the
Wow.
hairdressers. Like that's so embarrassing.
Mm.
So back on the birth control pill, and then he finally tested my iron, and I was very, very low iron. So back on iron pills. I do get my blood checked every 3 months, but I am severely anemic, so I have to take the supplements every day. I
Mm.
don't just take them and then stop them. So
Mm.
there, it's now part of like my daily vitamins. And then I went on to a GLP-1. So I've been taking that. I went on Wegovy
Mm.
about a year ago. However, no, that's a lie. We're coming up to 2 years. With
Okay.
the GLP-1, I clean eat and I exercise 4 times a week, but I've also prioritized sleep. And I
Yeah.
think that was the big thing for me is that I started making sure I got quality sleep,
Yeah.
but I still experience insomnia. I've had the night sweats a couple times. I've quit drinking wine
Yeah.
and I quit having sugar, and that's really reduced the bad sleeping. Now,
Yeah.
if I eat late at night, like if, I have a special dinner and we don't eat till 6 or 7 o'clock at night, I still have a really bad sleep because my digestion slows down. But
Right.
to navigate the medication that I'm on, I did have to go, and I do believe in natural therapies as much as possible. So
Mm.
but I needed medical help, and I think just combining those. But I wasn't looking at the GLP-1 to be my saving grace, and I can continue to eat and drink and do whatever I was doing
Yeah.
and just, not exercise.
Yeah.
So I really put all of my support, you know, systems into place so
Mm.
that this medication would have the best reaction. And I've lost 45 pounds.
Oh,
So
well done.
it,
Amazing.
yes,
Amazing. That is amazing. And happy birthday.
thank you. Yes, it's been a lot. It's been a bit of a wild ride the last couple years and the first couple months of this year already.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that like you've had so much going on, so much. Do you know what I mean? In terms of, bodybuilding, then, finding that you lost some weight and then that came back on, and then finding out the iron deficiency and having to take that and heavy bleeds. Wow, it's been that bit of a roller coaster, hasn't it?
Oh, unbelievable. And it's like I say, it's taken months. This like I was giving it months to try and figure out what was wrong with me. I'd try a new supplement, I was
Mm.
taking some Chinese herbs. I was doing acupuncture and acupressure, and I was, doing the massages and trying to do everything holistically. And
Yeah,
finally I kind of feel like I crawled back to my doctor and was like, help me.
yeah, yeah.
I don't want to live life like this anymore. And I didn't want antidepressants because I knew I wasn't depressed.
Yes,
You just,
yes,
in your heart
yes,
of hearts what's going on. I mean, I
exactly.
know, but I didn't know. So I didn't know that I was anemic,
Yes, yes.
and then the only thing, well, I had an option to have a hysterectomy. Well,
Mhm.
nowadays there's not a hysterectomy, it's an ablation where they
Yeah,
just burn your uterus out, and that wasn't appealing to me. So I
no,
thought, I'm done having my children. I just want to be on the birth control pill to regulate my periods. And
yeah,
it's really helped.
that's brilliant. And so, in terms of GLP-1, you've been taking it for, is it 2 years, you said?
In August, it will be 2 years,
two
yes. And
years.
I'm not even at the maximum dose. I've microdosed. I've done it very, very slowly. I sat on it for like 6 months at half a dose. I'm just over half a dose, but I'm not even at the full amount yet. But I've lost 45 pounds. I feel great. I don't want to be any smaller than I am. You have to go buy new clothes. Nothing
Yeah,
fits.
yeah, exactly. And so you're on, so in terms of you on that GLP, and are you going to continue it? What is the plan?
Well, I have a vacation coming up. I'm going to Greece in June. And so
Nice.
I kind of want to just stay where I'm at right now.
Mm.
And I am feeling better with my energy levels. So there's a little bit of me that hesitates to stop it. I
Yeah.
might talk about reducing it, like maybe I can do a dose every 2 weeks because right now it's once a week. So I was going to
Right.
maybe ask the doctor if I could drop it down a little bit, but it
Mm.
really stops the hunger noise. And I'm
Right.
almost like, I feel like I have like PTSD. I'm so afraid of that constant hunger feeling coming back. Or
Yeah.
like you sit down, I can sit down and eat and not finish a meal, and I'm totally okay with that. But
Yeah.
before I would eat everything. Even if
Yeah.
my portions were small, I would still eat everything because I was always hungry. So it was
Mm.
like that hunger signal goes bizarre,
Mm.
in your, and I know like I have other people who I've coached who say, "Oh, I eat enough protein and I don't get the food noise anymore." And I was like, "Well, I eat enough protein and I still get the food noise." So,
Right.
and it's definitely individual. And
Of
then I do
course.
know people that have done the GLP, but they don't lose any weight, but they continue to eat normally. Like
Yeah.
they don't exercise and they don't walk and they don't think about what they're putting in their body. So I definitely fuel myself with whole foods.
Mm. Mm. Okay, that's great. So in terms, right, okay, so you've lost weight, amazing. You're continuing on the GLP-1, bit worried about stopping it at the moment. So in terms of your menopause symptoms, is there anything that's still around? Is there anything else that you're still managing?
My eyesight is worse. I now have to wear like the magnifying glasses. I can't read vitamins or pills anymore.
Right.
The insomnia, like I'll have like really great sleep because I have the little tracker, I have
Yes.
my Fitbit, but I also feel it. And then I'll
Mhm.
go through periods where, you wake up at 1 or 3 and like wide awake.
Yes.
Like, and you're just laying there, like praying, just go back to sleep. And
Yeah.
then, it doesn't happen. And then your alarm goes off and you want to die. So
Yeah. Yeah.
exercising in the morning, I just can't do it anymore because I'm so tired. So
Right.
more, and I do find mornings a lot harder. Like I am a morning person. I'm that early bird. I used to, wake up and I would like go for a run or get on my treadmill like right away or go do
Yeah.
my exercising and
Yeah.
then shower and then coffee. Well, now I have to have a cup of coffee and sit for like
Right.
a good 25 minutes before I
Yes.
can move.
Yeah.
So that's changed. And I thought, well, I've lost all this weight. I'll have all this energy
Yeah.
and nothing will hurt. Meh, I get aches and pains. Like
Yeah.
it's still there. And I know that's with aging, even though I do take the supplements, like to with joint pain and muscle pain, but and I've had like the night sweats only twice, ever like since quitting the wine, because I would have wine at night, not every day, but sometimes,
Yeah.
and I definitely noticed that I would get really hot and have like more sweating at night. But
Yeah.
there's been a couple nights where I've woken up where you have to like change your pajamas. I've been like so wet
Yeah.
with sweat, and I was like, oh no, oh no,
Yeah.
it's happening.
Yeah. 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 I know exactly what you mean. I remember the looking at the ceiling at 3 o'clock in the morning and thinking, please go to sleep. And it just never ever happens. And then you just get up in the end because you just think there's no point in lying here looking at the ceiling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
And you're
completely
wide
get it.
awake. I was like, come on.
Yeah,
What is
I
happening? I've only
know.
had 4 hours of sleep. This is not enough to function. It's
Yeah.
3 a.m. What are you going to do? You have to
Yeah.
be at work at 8. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember actually taking like loads of little naps because I'm self-employed. It's just so much easier. If I was employed, I don't know what I would do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm so grateful that, I'm not working. I left my job just as it was all beginning to start. So it's yeah, it's I think I'm so lucky to have had that ability to be able to have naps at that point when I wasn't sleeping and when I was getting the night sweat. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. And you talked a little bit about brain fog. How's that, manifested for you?
I definitely better now. I do take daily supplements and I feel like ever since going on through the GLP-1 has been kind of a miracle drug, quite honestly. Like I only have 1 cup of coffee now. Like I used to drink coffee at least 3 cups a day
Yeah.
because I used it as a hunger suppressant and I
Yeah.
also used it because I was exhausted. But I mean, if I'm not having the insomnia and I have a good night's sleep, I have 1 cup of coffee a day and I'm fine. That 2 o'clock comes around and I'm like, I'll go for a walk, or I can
Mm,
actually power through, doing what I need to do. So I am feeling a lot, I have clearer thoughts. I can stay awake all day. I used to call myself a professional napper because I too would nap a lot, but
mm.
I haven't had, okay, closer to my period, I get tired,
Yes.
but for the other 3 weeks of the month, I'm pretty good. And I did start chaste berry,
Oh, yes.
raspberry. So
Yes.
that has, and I just take it every day. And that
Mm,
has really, really helped with the headaches. Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, the last 3 months I had the most insane headaches, and that was a new symptom that started. And like
right.
whenever I call my doctor, because they always say, call your doctor, but my doctor's always like, Katrina, anything and everything is perimenopause. It's like, so, but all they want to do is medicate, medicate, medicate. And I
Yeah.
didn't want any more medication. I was like,
Yeah.
no, no, no. You're
Yeah.
not getting to the root of the problem. You're just giving me a band-aid. So he
Yes.
was like, I can prescribe you this, this, this. And I said, no, like I don't want to do any more damage to my liver. I'll do
Mm,
that with my occasional glass of wine. Thank you very
mm,
much. But
yeah.
I chose not to take
Mm.
what he was offering.
Mm.
So, but the chaste tree or
That's
chasteberry,
very.
chasteberry,
Yeah.
that's been really helping. So, because I was getting migraines, I've never ever had a migraine in my whole life, and then I'm assuming it's a migraine because it is. I told he's like, do you know what a migraine is? I was like, okay, I've had headaches my whole life, but
Yeah.
I've never needed to call the doctor over a headache. Like I've
Yeah.
had bad headaches, but this
Yeah.
is like screaming,
Yeah.
like intense. It
Yeah.
wakes me up in the middle of the night. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the chasteberries helped.
That is so amazing. So that's helped with that. That's so where can people find you? If people wanted to contact you, where can people find you?
Oh, that is a great question. Well, right now I'm in the I am transitioning my branding, but my website is still up. It's thewellnessboss.com. So
Mm.
I am online, and the Wellness Boss is also on Facebook. And it's at Your Wellness Boss on Instagram. So you can find me there now, but in probably a couple months I'm going to be transitioning just to my name, Katrina Houghton, and and then working from there. I've been doing some rebranding and some public speaking and more workshops. So, but I still work with people one-on-one, especially women, because I know what it feels like to be exhausted and empty in the tank. And then I'm not telling everyone they need a GLP-1. That's
No.
definitely helped me, but there's a lot of steps that we can do before we need to get there. It is a journey. I think it's everyone's personal journey. Every woman is different. Every symptom is different. But the more you're supporting your system as you journey through this next phase, as we're moving into the crone, we did our maiden mother and now we're edging into the crone era. I think it's a process for everybody. Some people are over it quite quickly. Some people start mid 30s, and some people it goes, wait until you're like mid 50s. So I
Actually.
think it's just meeting your body where your body's at and then helping your body, like supporting your body as you're going through it. And so that's what I'm trying to do with all of these new and exciting symptoms that come up.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Katrina, for being the guest today. And thank you all for watching and listening. And if you have any questions for me or for my guests, ask them in the comments, like or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.